Hello students, surprised that today being an English course, bridge course class, why I missed making this lesson a Hindi song. How was the song? Yeah, you are well aware of this Breathless song, right, by Shankar Mahajan. Now why it is called Breathless? Why? Because the singer is not getting a single chance to give a pause in between, right? The music goes on along with his lyrics and he keeps on singing. You have seen different dance forms performed on this song. Even the dancer goes breathless. So what is the intention is just to introduce you our today's bridge course class topic, that is punctuation. Now what is the job of punctuation? Of course slowly and steadily we are going to revise, but I hope you all enjoyed the song and I hope you understood the importance of punctuation. Of course punctuation we don't use it while speaking, we use only while writing. Okay, so let's see or let's revise what is punctuation. Okay, so we shall go, you shall return, never by war shall you perish. Like if you sing this like Shankar Mahajan, there is no pause because there is no full stop. You all know what are punctuation marks. There is nothing punctuation or no punctuation marks used over here. If we go on reading this, it goes like an Rajdhani Express, right? So let's see what is the difference, what difference it makes if we use punctuation marks. Once again I repeat this line. You shall go, you shall return, never by war shall you perish. Of course, this sentence is very, very small. If I take a lengthy sentence, even I will go breathless, right? So here comes the punctuation marks. You shall go. Of course, there is a small pause, comma. You all know what is the use of comma. We are going to revise again. You shall return. Never by war shall you perish. Now this punctuation marks not only helps us to give a pause, but it also changes the meaning of the sentence. You shall go, you shall return never. By war shall you perish. The previous one, it had a difference. Now the comma has made a difference. If you remember the previous one, you had comma after return. You shall return. Never by war shall you perish. But now if you see in this sentence, you shall go, you shall return never, by war shall you perish. At the last we have full stop. These are the punctuation marks we have already learned in our lower classes. Today we are going to revise about the punctuation marks in today's bridge course class. Okay? So punctuation marks or punctuation makes possible the clear presentation of the written language. Of course, while speaking, we don't use punctuation marks. Hello, I am a girl, full stop. My name is so, full stop. We don't say like this, right? But we know what is that? These marks are helpful to give a pause, just to inhale or exhale your breath. So, punctuation marks makes possible the clear presentation of the written language. It is a courtesy designed to help readers to understand a story without stumbling. Of course, if you go on reading at a stretch, you stumble in between. So if you have pauses, you have these punctuation marks, meaning also it differs and plus you get a chance to give a pause. See, at present today if you realize, I am not giving a pause, I am not going slowly, I am trying my best to give breathless class. It controls the sense of sentence. Of course, it controls the sense of sentence. Just now you saw, it changes the sense of sentence. Let's see this beautiful example. Kill him, not release him is the first one. See the commas. Kill him, not release him. Kill him, not release him. Kill him, not release him. Old ladies hostel. Old ladies means it is the hostel meant for old ladies. If the comma comes over here, old ladies hostel. It is what? It is an old ladies hostel. Old ladies hostel. What is that? It's saying old ladies hostel. So what happens? Comma changes the meaning of the sentence. List of punctuation marks. In this slide I have used 12 punctuation marks. If you see first one is colon. It is nothing else but two vertical dots. Semicolon, a dot and a comma. Comma is comma only. Dash is somewhat larger in size than your hyphen. Okay. Ellipsis is 1, 2, 3 dots. Many of the people they mention only 2 dots, they mention only 4 dots. Each dot has got its own meaning, its own importance. So ellipsis you see 3 dots. Apostrophe is a comma which we give overhead. Okay. Apostrophe. exclamation mark, hyphen, parenthesis, nothing else but brackets, round brackets, periods or full stop. Now, of course, normally we don't give a period at the end of a sentence. We use full stop. Okay. Question mark. Quotation marks are nothing else but inverted commas. So these are 12 punctuation marks. We are going to revise about each of these marks in today's bridge course lesson. Let's start with full stop. The full stop, or we also call this as period. It indicates the longest pause. Full stop is nothing else but you have to stop for a long time. Okay? It is used at the end of a complete sentence. Of course, if sentence is half, we cannot use full stop in between. Many times we teachers, we come across your notebooks, your answers, and we know that you don't know the importance of these punctuation marks. I have come across many students, they give full stop in between somewhere. It should be given by the end of the sentence. Okay? Example, I go to college. There you can see there is a full stop over there. After abbreviations. Now you have gone through all these abbreviations. BA nothing else but Bachelor of Arts. MP, there are many examples. Madhya Pradesh or a member of parliament, government. Now if you see, omit full stop if the first and the last letter of the abbreviated word is given. I am not emphasizing on this because British people, they follow different rule, Americans, they follow different rule. And now Indians, what we are doing is, we are doing a mixture of British English and American English. So I will not insist more on this, but what normally we do is, we use a full stop. B stands for Bachelor, A stands for Arts. So Bachelor of Arts, we use a full stop word. Okay, but omit full stop if the first and the last letter of the abbreviated word is given. If you have seen, if you go on to Mr., Doctor, Saint, Mrs., you might have seen that few people they use dots, few people they don't use dot. Both the way is correct because we are using a mixture of British and American English style. Okay? So no problem with that. I hope this part is clear. Full stop is nothing else but put a full stop, put a dot by the end of a sentence. This I am insisting again because I have seen many of the students, though they are in 11th standard, 12th standard or they go to higher classes, they do this mistake of not putting a full stop exactly where it is required. Okay. Next is question mark. Of course, this is a common sense, but even here, children, they make mistake. They write the question form, but in the end, they don't put the question mark. If question mark is not there, I especially cut half marks. In grammar, please take care, if you are asked to form question forms, you have to write a question at the same time, use question mark. So, after a direct question, when is question mark used? We are using it after a direct question. Example, what is your name? Question mark. How are you? Question mark. But here you have to take care after an indirect question. Now in your first PUC, in your 11th standard, you have convert from direct into indirect. And when you convert or when you just change a form, direct form into indirect form, don't do the mistake of converting a question from direct form into indirect form and putting a question mark. You have to not use question mark for indirect question. What is the example? He asked me how I was. I have used here full stop. Not to use a question mark over here because it is an indirect question. Next is comma. It is the shortest pause. Just now we heard Shankar Mahajan's song. He keeps on singing. There is no even a single pause. So this comma helps to give us short pause. Okay. It is used between the three or more words of the same parts of speech. Parts of speech, noun, verb, pronoun, no. Parts of speech, whatever you are using, there they use comma just to give what actually, if there are more than one parts of speech used over here. Example I have given here. The horses are black, white, red. After red, you should not give comma because you are using and over here. And brown, full stop. If you see black is adjective, white is adjective, red is adjective and even brown is adjective. Why? Because they are speaking about the colors of horses. The horses are black, white, red, brown. Parts of speech. Adjective used over here. Different words are used over here. So these words are separated by using a comma. Black, comma, white, comma, red and brown. And then if you see last is full stop. A sentence should end with a full stop. Next one, he speaks gently, briefly and clearly. See, when you are reading also, you should not go, he speaks gently, briefly and clearly. No, commas are there. Commas are meant for pause. So, he speaks gently, briefly and clearly. Now, this gently, briefly and clearly are adverbs, parts of speech. So, you hope this part is clear. First of all is, it is the shortest pause. Second point is, it is used between 3 or more words of the same parts of speech. If you see, these are the same words from the, you can say, noun or adjective or adverbs. It is used between words or phrases in apposition. What is apposition? Now, Gandhi. Gandhi is a noun over here. And these two phrases are noun phrases because these two phrases are speaking about Gandhiji. Gandhi, the father of nation. See, the comma, Gandhi, comma, the father of nation, comma, lived a simple life. Full stop. Socrates, comma, the Greek philosopher, comma, was given a cup of poison. So, how it goes? Socrates, the Greek philosopher, was given a cup of poison. Was given a cup of poison. To mark off yes, no or well, sometimes we give a short answer. Yes, I will do. I will do. Yes, I will do. So here, when you write this yes, write a comma over there. Yes, a pause. I have written to her. Well, let's do our homework now. To separate the date of a month from the year as. Now you write your dates, especially in your letter writing. This I want to note, make you to note that date should be mentioned in this form. Either 16th June 2012 or June 16, 2012. Not to use 16 /6 / the year, not to use in that way because they cut marks if you write date in short form. Date has to be written like this, and if you remember, I have learned in lower classes, June 16, comma, because it separates date and the year. August 15, comma, 1947. Is that clear? So this was regarding commas. Apostrophe. I have used here, apostrophe is used like this, you all know it actually. To mark the possessive case of noun. When do we use apostrophe? To mark the possessive state of noun or pronoun sometimes. MAs. Now here we have used abbreviations. But that means MAs, Master of Arts. You can make a Master of Arts. My Master of Arts exam is pending, or my Master of Arts exam will be conducted soon. Whatever it is. MLAs, apostrophe S. This shows possessive. 4 fours are make 16. 4 fours make 16. 4 fours are 16. Sharma's work. Now this you will be able to understand properly because many times we use my friend's book. So we use apostrophe. Sharma's work, a boy's book, a dog's life. You see apostrophe shows nothing else but possessive nouns, case of nouns. To denote omission of some letter or letters form a word. Actually, while learning about verbs, can, cannot. I told you cannot can be used also, like we use can't, C-A-N apostrophe T. What is that? To omit certain words from the, to omit certain letters also from the words, we use apostrophe. Singular words and possessive form. Now, many times where exactly to put apostrophe we make mistake. Example here, singular words, the boss, Thomas, mistress. Now in such case, where to use S, apostrophe S? It's quite natural. The bosses, apostrophe S. Thomas, apostrophe S. A mistress, apostrophe S. So if a word is plural, we know exactly where to use apostrophe S. But sorry, if the word is singular, we know where to use apostrophe. But now, when the word is plural, where to use apostrophe? Her friends. Not only one friend, many friends. Anu's parents. The members. Now in this case, of course I have used Anu's parents, right? So if we are making a sentence, when we come across such words which are in plural form, where to use apostrophe s? This is the example. Her friends. After writing friends, put the apostrophe. After s, you put the apostrophe. Need not write apostrophe s again. It will be wrong. Her friend's party. Not just one friend's party. Her friend's party. Anu's parents' car. The members' help. If you see, friends, parents, members. They are in plural form. So we have used apostrophe after the word. One of the most frequent error is the use of its for the possessive form of it. We use its. Its is not the possessive form, but actually it is a full form of it is or it has. But we make a mistake. We think that it is possessive form. Okay? A friend of my father's. What is the mistake over here? This is repeated. A friend of my father is the correct form. Anu and Spurti's parents, whether they have one parent, maybe these two children are different. Okay, if they are sisters and fine, but still what we use is Anu's and Spurti's parents. This is the correct way to use apostrophe because Anu's parents, Spurti's parents. We have used and over here, so Anu's and Spurti's parents. The dash. Twice the length of hyphen. We have seen it, we are using it, and many times for your email ID and all these things you use dash, right? So, twice the length of hyphen to separate parts of sentence. Dash is used to separate parts of sentence. If you remember your outline story when you are in lower classes, outline story was given to you and in English paper you are asked to make a story out of it, right? So, what is that? The car dash, the one with the broken windows, dash, was parked outside our house. They have used dash to separate the sentences. Before the name of an author or a book when it is given at the end. In the newspapers, all these things you can see we use dash. Okay, in this book, sweet are the uses of adversity by Shakespeare. This dash we may not write by over here, we use just dash. You have seen in the textbooks also, or you have seen when notes are given to you, we first mention the chapter's name, down we just put dash, means by the writer. So that dash is used. Next is hyphen. We are familiar with this hyphen. It is a shorter line than the dash. It is used to join the parts of a compound word. Now what are compound words? Mother, hyphen, in, hyphen, law, mother-in-law, passer-by, kind-hearted. These are compound words and we use we use hyphen in between these two words. Window, pan. Okay. Ellipsis. 1, 2, 3. As I told you, each dot has got its importance when to use 4 dots, when to use 3 dots. So, ellipsis to indicate that part of a quoted sentence has been omitted. If you remember your complete story, right, and give a suitable title, what they do? They just give one sentence, or you can say 1 or 2 sentences of the story, and then remaining they put dot, dot, dot. 3 dots may give, so that it shows that the story is left incomplete. It's your part, it's your turn to complete the story using your creative ideas. Okay. If the omission occurs at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence, we use 3 periods in the ellipsis. In the starting or in the end, if it is omitted, few words are omitted or few sentences are omitted, we use 3 dots. If the last part of the sentence is omitted or if the entire sentences are omitted, add a 4th period to the ellipsis to mark the end of the sentence. At the end, when we have, we can say, left it incomplete, we have to give 4 dots. Why? Because many sentences or many words are omitted. It shows that many words or sentences are omitted. For example, as I told you, it is not 3 dots, it is 4 dots, right? When your ma'am gives you incomplete stories, she gives you 4 dots. Why? Because if the last part of the sentence is omitted or if entire sentences are omitted, add a 4th period to the ellipsis to mark the end of the sentence. Ellipsis indicate missing matter which may consist of a single word also. When a single word, many times when you have the captions, you know, when you watch different regional movies, down you have the translations. Many times the words which are not to be used, immoral words which are not to be used, they use dot dot dot. Get the dash out of here. Matter considered to be non-essential or indicating an unfinished thought. Even an unfinished thought also, that time also we use ellipsis. The troubling question was, would Mr. Anna Hazare sue or dash dash dash? A dash dot dot dot. Okay, many times it indicates what actually non-essential or indicating an unfinished thought. Exclamation mark. We are familiar with it and we use it also. It is used after words or sentences which expresses strong emotion. What an idea! Even when you speak, we make certain changes. We make changes in our, we stress and intonations we change while speaking. Hurrah! We won the match. Alas, I lost my purse. Now you know where to use the exclamation mark. Semicolon. Semicolon is nothing else but dot and a comma. It marks longer pause than the comma does. It is used to separate clauses joined by conjunctions. Here we have example. We had no money, semicolon. Nevertheless. So nevertheless is the conjunction used over here. When we use a conjunction also, we use semicolon. He supported me. Okay. Work regularly. Otherwise, you will suffer. What is it? It is used to separate clauses joined by conjunctions. It is also used to separate clauses not joined by conjunctions. Example, to err is human, semicolon, to forgive divine. Colon. What is colon but nothing else but two vertical dots. It's a pause longer than denoted by the semicolon. Comma is just a small pause, semicolon is still longer pause and colon is more longer. It is still more longer than compared to semicolon and comma. To introduce a series or list of items, examples or the like. Now this semicolon, colon is used to what actually? To introduce a series or list of items, examples or the like. Example is over here. You need the following. Or if you remember your social science papers, the following are the causes for the First World War and then you put colon, right? Why? Because down you write down list of causes. So what is this? You need the following, colon, paint, brushes, water, clothes. Shakespeare's great tragedies are King Lear, Hamlet, Othello and Macbeth. So when you are giving a list of things or when you are introducing a series of items, we give colon. To introduce a quotation or a direct question or a speech. Now if you have seen, many of you love to write scripts for a drama. You have done it when you had CCE, you had lots of activities and you have written lots of plays or scripts for it. There you have used what? Colon. Why? Because it indicates Keats. Yes, now Keats dialogue. What is that? Keats said, beauty is truth, truth is beauty. Direct speech is denoted by using a colon. Gandhi said, we are going ahead. So this you are familiar with, and even in your textbooks also where you have dramas and all. Then last year in 10th standard you had the Dear Departed. There you had your that particular play and you saw dialogue, old grandfather's dialogue, and then you have I forgot the characters. So you have against those characters you have this colons, right? So these colons are used for direct speech or quotations or direct question. Inverted commas. You use single inverted commas, you use double inverted commas. Okay? Single or double are used for indicating the actual words of the speaker. Even this you come across when ma'am gives a question, convert this dialogue into indirect speech or convert this dialogue into indirect speech. Wordsworth said. See here we have to put a comma, small pause, then the dialogue starts. Dialogue starts by inverted comma. Child is the father of man. Sentence complete, we have given full stop, and dialogue also we have ended by inverted comma. Wine is a mocker, said the king. Dialogue is put into inverted comma. You have this comma, pause, said the king. And last, full stop. To enclose title of books, poems, periodicals. You have come across this even in the question mark. Suppose the question is from dear, explain the or discuss or express your view about the use of the title, the dear departed. There you have seen either ma'am will highlight that word or she will use inverted comma. So what is that? To enclose title of books, poems, periodicals. So what is the example? Have you read, comma, the Mahabharata? It's a question. So we have a question mark and then inverted commas close. My favorite film is Titanic. Or if you read 3 Idiots, my favorite film is. It comes in inverted comma. After is there is comma and then you have the title's name to highlight the title into inverted commas. The brackets. You are very familiar with this when we use brackets. To begin or end a parenthetical phrase or sentence. He gave all he had. What he had? 4 lakh rupees. This we are putting it into bracket because it's our choice to use it or not use it. But here we have highlighted. He gave all he had to her. If you skip this, the sentence becomes like this. He gave all he had to her. But what he gave, we are curious. 4 lakh rupees. What he had, what all things he had is 4 lakh rupees. To add information, we add the brackets to give more information also. Like example, one of the earliest dictionaries which sets out to explain difficult terms is that of Eliza Earls. Here we have published in London 1685. We have highlighted exactly about this particular writer. Sorry, the book which was published in London in the year and the years. Expressing an aside. Aside means in a skit. Many times there are monologues. What is monologues? There is conversation going on between 2 characters, but in between the person who is talking, the one who is silent, may speak something aside, and that those words are put into brackets. You have come across these things. To put the dialogues which they speak to themselves, which should not be heard to the next person. Of course, audience will be listening to it, but the next person or the reader knows what the mind of the person is. It is reading aloud. But the other person who is there, the other character who is there, cannot listen, cannot hear. So what is that? Rama promises to lose 3 stones in a month, and pigs will fly too. Now this thing is what? Dialogue is said, the remaining words are heard by the other character, but these words are only heard by the audience, or it's only seen by the reader. Okay? Indicating options, your document or documents. Now we cannot write your document or documents. It will expand the sentence. So better always is what? Your document. It may be document or documents will be forwarded to the employee. The use of capital letters. This many of you still make mistake. Because when you were small, ma'am had taught you when to use capital letters, but still many of you people have seen when we check the papers, when we read your answers, many of you do this mistake of not exactly knowing when to use the capital letter. So here these points are there. Let's revise when to use a capital letter. To begin a sentence. Even now when I am getting rich course answers, many times I point out, of course I will not tell the names of the students, I know the names, and I point out, you have to start the sentence with a capital letter. Okay? So, to begin a sentence, he goes to school every day. Here you see pronoun he is used and here H is capital. He goes to school every day, full stop. To begin the name of a person, place, abbreviated titles. Whenever you use the name of your friend, whenever you use the name of a person or a place or abbreviated titles also you have seen. That time we have just revised MA, BA, MLA. So, we use capitals. Many times you do that when you use God or when you use principal. I have seen students using principals P small. Never to use P small because you are actually highlighting, or you can say you are beginning a person's name or it's a post actually. So that time you should always see that it should be capital. Person, place and abbreviated titles also. Plus see that to whom you are going to write the letter. Your apology letters we come across, we have seen that to the principal. To is capital T, the is capital, but P you write small. It's a big mistake you make. Okay. I am Mr. Basavaraj. I am from Gada. So if you see I is capital, Mr. abbreviation, M is capital, Basavaraj, name of a person, B is capital, and if you see Gada, G is capital, the name of a place. To write the pronoun I, of course I, when you write about yourself or when you copy down a passage or a sentence from the textbook, in the sentence clearly they have mentioned I as capital, but you copy down in a very wrong way, you copy down I as small. I should be always presented in capital. Okay? So I work as a lecturer in Government PU College. I capital, remaining all you can say small. Government, abbreviation of government. G, public, pre-university college. P, U, and you see C also should be college. Not to write C small. P also should be capital, U should be capital, and even G should be also, C should also be capital. To begin the names of the days, months, festivals. Even there we make mistakes. What we do is we write small. Sunday should be capital. If you go to type in mobile, when you go to type, immediately it turns, you type small, but immediately it turns into capital. So S capital in Sunday, M capital in Monday, J June, J July, Yugadi, U capital, Diwali, D capital. So when you're mentioning about days, months and festivals, starting letter should be in capital. To begin the names of books, you have come across, you read many books. So if you see the Ramayana are capital, the Bible, the Quran, their initial words, letter should be capital, not words, letter should be capital. To begin the names of rivers, mountains, seas, that you are familiar, you have already learned. The Ganga, G capital, the Himalayas, H capital, the Arabian Sea, A capital. To begin the names of language, even when you speak about language, of course let's give respect to our mother tongue also and to other languages also, use capital letters. English, Gujarati, Kannada, Malayalam, we always mention the first letter as capital. To begin, let's say example, English is an international language, E capital. Of course it is starting letter of the sentence also, at the same time it speaks about a language. To begin the names and pronouns referring to God. It's very, very important. While giving respect, of course we give respect to God, but while writing we don't give respect. We write many times we write A small, G small.